ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। Srimad Bhagavad Gita is referred to as the science of life. Lots of practical guidance is given by Bhagavan Shri Krishna to Arjuna, and in spite of being a text which was communicated, presented more than 5,000 years ago, still the relevance of Gita is very much there even in today's day and age. If we look at the first chapter of the Gita, we understand the condition of the student, that is Arjuna, in what state he is in and what is he looking for. Initially, at the face of it, he is looking very, very confident. But after some time, all the weakness, confusions, all that surfaces. And he himself understands that he is confused only after he speaks for some time to Sri Krishna. And in the beginning of the second chapter, we find Arjuna's state is so very devastated. He is not able to even stand. He is sitting on the seat of the chariot, completely given up hope, what we call a hopeless state. And he is just wondering how I can do anything. He said, I can't fight. I am not going to fight. It is not possible for me. So, in this condition, Bhagavan Shri Krishna chooses to give a little bit of a shock treatment to Arjuna. And that shock treatment did not transform Arjuna, but he brought out some more confusions and fears in his mind. And one of them was, what? I don't know whether we will win or they will win over us. वो जीतेंगे हम जीतेंगे. So which means it was a fear of the outcome. There was anxiety for the result of the war. Of course, there were other things also, whatever he said in the first chapter, but the second chapter, this is a very important thing that comes out. And also because of the result of this shock treatment was also that Arjuna surrendered. So to be able to bring out whatever really is bothering us and also surrendering at the feet of the Guru is very, very important, which is seen in the beginning of the second chapter, where Arjuna says, I am not even able to think, Bhagavan, you think, you decide, you tell me what is best. And now if we see this condition of being confident in the beginning and after some time looking at the situation, challenging circumstances and losing our confidence, getting confused about our own role, our own responsibilities, and bringing out these different types of fears of the outcome, all these things if we find, and at the end of it also demanding that please don't ask me to think, you decide whatever is there and tell me, ready-made instruction. Everything of this we can relate to. That is why Arjuna is best representative of us. And if we can relate to whatever Arjuna has said or is going through, his state of mind, his confusions, his fears, then Bhagavad Gita will be useful to us. Otherwise, it will be a good read. It will be, oh, very nice, this text. And maybe some people can research on it, get a doctorate. All that is possible. But if it has to go in and transform, we have to be Arjuna. So we have to understand our state is the Arjuna state, which Puja Gurudev says that it is Arjuna disease. So we all suffer from this Arjuna disease. We camouflage it with our confidence and smile. But inside, so much of fear. What will happen? But I won't say it outside. Let me see what is there in store for me. This is what we are. All of us are like this. And then when we are face to face, okay, now face the challenge. I don't think. And then justify. You know what? Non-violence is the best policy. So what about all the violence you have committed so far? Even when we walk, we are committing violence. So then, I'm not saying I should walk. I'm very happy to not walk also. I'm happy to not get out of my bed also. I'm very happy. Justification. Why? I'm a follower of non-violence. So I'm not going to get out of my bed. Okay, then, so I want food, drinks, everything on my bed. So but cooking food also is killing so many bacteria and that is also non-violence. So we have decided not to feed you. So that is our non-violence. So we also have this Arjuna disease and much more acute than what Arjuna is facing. Arjuna is just a representative, we are the real samples. And Shri Krishna in the second chapter elaborately takes Arjuna through this beautiful, what Puja Gurudev calls as the Krishna cure to the Arjuna disease. So for any Arjuna disease, Krishna cure is the only cure. Puja Guruji has written a small booklet, he has given a talk many years ago. He said, many problems, one solution. So what is that? In that, the crux of that whole theme of talk is that any problem, if we look at it, face it, deal with it at the same level of the problem, it cannot be solved. For example, if I am stuck in a traffic jam, sitting inside my car as a part of that traffic jam, I cannot release it, I cannot break it. I have to get out and go on a higher pedestal. That's what is a traffic cop has a higher pedestal. And then from there, I can see, I have a 360-degree view. I say where things are getting stuck, I have to stop these people, I have to let these people go, and then that's how I can manage it. So this is what is the principle for our lives also. Many problems occur at the world level, but I have to raise myself to a spiritual level and look at the problem from the spiritual perspective. That's where the solution lies. So Bhagavan Shri Krishna is also giving, this is the Krishna cure to the Arjuna disease. The disease may appear very, very worldly, not able to face challenges. So you have to have courage, you have to have confidence, you have to have concentration. And this is how Bhagavad Gita is dealt with these days, unfortunately. We don't understand the core of it. We say, oh, Bhagavad Gita and fear management. How Bhagavad Gita helps you manage your fears. Let us discuss. So only that part. And only at that level. So Bhagavad Gita is not just that. It is going to the core of the problem and removes the problem forever. Uproots it. That is why going to the spiritual standpoint and looking at the problem. So Bhagavan starts his discourse from the highest standpoint, slowly coming down to Arjuna's level, and at Arjuna's level, very, very worldly level. Bhagavan says, come, I will They talk to you at that level also. And what is that level? Log kya kahenge? What will people say? What will people think of you? No, that is very important for me. Otherwise, self and Brahman and all that doesn't matter. What God thinks about me is not important. People should not think bad about me. Okay. So if that works, okay, that is enough. Now you are ready to get out of it? Yes, I want to get out of it. Now I tell you what should be done. So there, in the second chapter, Bhagavan talks first about the highest knowledge. Then he feels that Arjuna is not really ready for it now, not prepared. So he says, okay, I will talk to you about the secret of action. So very briefly he indicates, he does a lot of publicity in the second chapter that this is the secret of action, which is called as karma yoga, and you do this and you will be free and this, and so many things he says. You don't have to bother about the do's and don'ts, you don't have to bother about too many rules and all. It is very easy, very easy, very easy. Okay, so what is it? So in one verse, Bhagavan sums it up, which is very, very popular. We all know, Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbhu te sangostu karmani. So in that one verse, he has summed it up that this is the secret of action. Okay. Now, after this, he says, okay, how if I perform action like this as karma yoga, then what will happen? So what is karma yoga? So in the second chapter, it is clearly explained that we perform what, how is the main thing. So what do we perform? We perform our duties. So that is one. Second, how do we perform? As dedication or worship of the Lord. Dedicated to something higher. Puja Gurudev says a higher altar. Should not be selfish. Should not be for my own gains. Should be something for the society, for the country, for the Lord, for Guru. Something higher that inspires us. So that altar of dedication is important, and automatically when we receive the results, what happens is we receive it as a prasad, as a gift from the Lord. So this way, this is called karma yoga. What is it? Kartavya karma, duties performed in the spirit of Ishvara Arpana Buddhi, and the results accepted as prasada buddhi. So this is what Kartavya karma plus Ishvara Arpana Buddhi plus prasada buddhi is equal to karma yoga. This was already explained in the second chapter briefly. After that, Bhagavan said, once somebody keeps performing action like this, he becomes very dexterous, he becomes equanimous and all, slowly, he transcends this realm of action. He becomes a realized master. Okay. Then Arjuna was so intrigued. He was caught up. So from that state, fallen state, he was brought up by Bhagavan's discourse itself to that state where he could question. And he said, please tell me about this master, realized master. I want to know more about him. So then Bhagavan very elaborately paints a beautiful pen picture of a master of realization. This is called a Sthita Prajna, a man of steady wisdom. And after that, he says, this is the highest gain of human life. He extols, praises that whole knowledge. And with that, the second chapter ends. Now, the question that comes to Arjuna's mind, and it may come to our mind also. If we listen to the second chapter like Arjuna did, then it will come to our mind also. So what is the question? Bhagavan, you told me I should perform action. Yes. But you praised knowledge. Yes. And you said that the man of knowledge need not perform any action, doesn't have any duty. Yes. So which means, if I gain knowledge, I don't have to do anything. I said, no. Yes. So then why are you asking me to act? Give me knowledge. This is the general question. We all have this question. Okay, so we will see. This is the first two verses of the third chapter. Arjuna is asking his question. So we will read those two verses. Please repeat. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
Om Shri Paramatmane
तृतीयोऽध्यायः अर्जुन उवाच जायसी चेत् कर्मणस्ते मता बुद्धिर्जनार्दन तत्किं कर्मणि घोरे मां नियोजयसि केशव व्यामिश्रेणेव वाक्येन बुद्धिं मोहयसीव मे तदेकं वद निश्चित्य येन श्रेयोऽहमाप्नुयाम् He says, Hey Janardana, O Lord, here Lord we are saying, Arjuna still doesn't have that feeling of Lord. That will come later, after 11th chapter it will come. But now we are saying Lord because for us He is Lord. When we come into Arjuna's state of mind, we will forget that Lord also. That is different, like Arjuna also. So here, O Lord, means O Janardana, O Krishna, Te Mata, according to you, in your opinion, based on what you said, no? Last chapter only. So when Bhagavan was talking to Arjuna, he was not talking chapter by chapter, okay? Arjuna, second chapter over. Now you can ask question. So Bhagavan was not talking chapter by chapter. Bhagavan was continuously speaking. Arjuna said, 1 minute, I have a question. And he is asking, okay? For us, Bhagavan Vedavyasji later on wrote it in poetry form. Because some people asked, how long did Bhagavan take to give this discourse to Arjuna? They said, Bhagavad Gita chanting takes about 3 hours. So I think 3 hours he must have stood there and chanted. Bhagavan did not chant these shlokas. Yes, these words were his. But in poetic form, Vedavyasa has put them, presented them. So in poetry, so it was not necessary that Bhagavan chanted poetry and then Arjuna also poetically asking questions. It could have been, but it is not necessary that this is how it happened. Okay? Exactly in this poetical form is not necessary. They were conversing. But for us, it is easier, like remembering some formula or slogan is easy than remembering a passage. So this is how it was presented in our tradition, so that it is easy for us to grasp it, remember it, recall it. So here, Te Mata, according to your opinion that was given in the previous chapter, Karmanaha Buddhi Jayasi. You said that compared to karma, Buddhi, Jnanam or knowledge is Jayasi greater. ज्ञान कर्म से श्रेष्ठ है आपके मतानुसार, according to your opinion. Now, already in the second chapter, Shri Krishna made it very clear, this is not something new. I am talking, this is there in the Veda. I am only reiterating it and presenting it the way you will understand. So he is already, but still, see, listener, these are all aspects, we all have this. It has already been said that it is a validated knowledge. According to you, you just said, but I didn't say, the Veda said. No, but in your opinion, I just heard from you. Okay, chalo, my opinion. Okay, say, what is your question here? If knowledge is greater than karma, so that's what you told me. Okay, I said, yes, that is true also. Okay, then, Tat kim karmani ghore mam niyojayasi, he Keshava, O Keshava, niyojayasi, you are unnecessarily pushing me into what? Karmani, in action. Okay, even if it is good, some good action, then it is still okay. Ghore karmani. In this ghora karma, this terrible action, why are you unnecessarily pushing me into this? If you know and you only believe, and according to you only, if buddhi or jnanam or knowledge is greater than karma, then why are you pushing me into such unpleasant actions? You also have this kind of thing. If it's simple, in school, the teacher says, this chapter is there, we have to study, but and then we have to do the practicals and all also. But we just heard from the education board that this chapter is not going to come in the exam. Then why should we study? Why are you unnecessarily making us do these practicals? If it is not going to come, why should we do? Tatkim karmani ghore mamniya jaisi. Unnecessarily you are making us cut. Dissection of frogs. I don't know, I'm already scared of frogs. And then you are making me dissect them. I can't do that. Tatkim karmani ghore mam. I'm never going to become a doctor. Why do you want me to do all the biology and all these things? Kim karmani ghore mam. So this is a question. And then the person who asks this question feels, I'm so intelligent. I asked such an intelligent question. Nobody मेरे से ज़्यादा बुद्धिमान कोई हो ही नहीं सकता. मैंने पूछा ये सवाल. So we also feel very proud of such question. And Bhagavan also doesn't say anything. Bhagavan doesn't say, hey, foolish question, keep quiet. No. Bhagavan says, oh, very good question. Because encouragement is required. Bhagavan is just silently listening. See, the beauty of the teacher is when he speaks, he speaks. That time, no disturbance, nobody talks. But when he is quiet and somebody has a question, he is silently and attentively listening. He will listen to that in the first chapter also, and now he is listening. Now he is asking a question, okay, tell me what you want to say. So why are you engaging me, pushing me, forcing me into this terrible action? We also have this even, when in a firm or in a family or something, there are the HR department is there. HR people are saying, okay, we have to hire, we need 20 people. Very good, okay. Hire. Fat, everything. Announcements go on, advertisements go on, applications came, interviews conducted, shortlisted, very good, very easy, very okay. Then that same HR department is told, you have to fire 20 people. Can we outsource this? There are many people who do this, so let's outsource this. Why? It's a very unpleasant duty. So we also have our preferences. We know it is a duty. Still it is pleasant and unpleasant. So that's what you are. Ghore karmani. Why are you pushing me into actions that I don't like? So it is not about, the action by itself cannot be terrible. Action is an action. But I don't like, I am not comfortable. So why are you pushing me into it? Why are you asking me to work? When you yourself say that knowledge is supreme, so why don't you give me knowledge? Easy, Give me knowledge, then I don't have to do anything. I said, yes, very good. Arjuna, you are thinking, very good. Achha, okay. And then Arjuna said, Bhagavan, vyamishreneva vakyena buddhi mohe sivame. You are confusing me. You are confusing my intellect. Me buddhi mohayasi. Eva means as though you are confusing me. Kind of, you are saying this is also good, that is also good. What is this? I told you in the beginning itself. You decide what is good and tell me. There, Puja Gurudev very beautifully said, he is an army officer. An army officer understands the language of commands. Red, forward, march. Red, stop. Attention. Very easy. But you say, there are landmines all over. If you feel like, you go ahead. Otherwise, you decide what you want to do. But you can't come back to the camp. You have to go there only. But you see how you want to go. The army people will be like, bolo na, kya karna hai? Jao ke nahi jao? Tell me clearly, why are you unnecessarily confusing me? This is what is Arjuna's life. You are saying this is also good. We sometimes go, this is very typical of our, so many times we go for advice. It could be parents or any elders or teachers or even our friends also, our siblings also. Very often we go, I am thinking, should I go for that satsang at 4 o'clock or should I stay at home and do japa? I am thinking, what should I do? Whoever we are asking, that person, he says, satsang is very good. If you go there, you can listen to something, new thing, good. But japa also is very good, sadhana, you just chant the name of the Lord. It is so good, So, but satsang, you just sit there, that environment, it is so good, but japa, your mind will be purified. Okay, I have answered your question. What answered my question? You have confused me, you have praised both the things. What have you answered? No, this is what Arjuna is in that state. No, we used to, in our childhood, we used to go out during the period, sometimes you go for water, for washroom and all, and you will come back. We used to say, can I come in? So other teachers would let us in. But if it is English period, the English teacher will not let us in. Say, can I come in? How do I know? Whether you can or not. Because you came walking from there to here, so maybe you can. I think you can, So I don't know, that depends on you. So we get confused. And small school children. What do you want to say? Don't confuse me like that. So then you should say, may. Can talks about your ability. May talks about my giving permission. Okay. May I come in? Come. Only happens in English class, no other class. Okay. So such kind of confusions, somebody is asking, and sometimes we ask a question and the answer is more confusing. I said earlier I was more clear about this matter. After listening to him, more confounded. What have you said? All your statements are all mixed up. You are saying this is also good, that is also good actually. And if you want to do this, it will be very good. But do that will be even better. But then this is also very, very good. Also, knowledge is the highest, but action is very important. You have to do action and not just karma. You have to do karma yoga, but the result of karma yoga is knowledge, and after knowledge you don't have to do anything at all, but you have to do action. This is exactly how Arjuna heard the second chapter. Very attentively, but he said, there you said this. Then you said this, then you praised this. So, if you feel that knowledge is superior to karma, why are you engaging me into this? And with these mixed up statements, you are confusing me. Buddhi mohaya siva me, as though confusing me. See, Arjuna also had a lot of faith in Krishna. That is why he surrendered. So he said, I know your objective will not be to confuse me. So therefore, buddhi mohaya siva me. That eva is important because he is saying, as though you are confusing me. I know you are not trying to confuse me, but as though you are confusing me, you are saying this, Bhagwan, Yamishreneva vakyena buddhi mohe siva me. So therefore, I have a request. What is the request? Tad ekam vada nishchitya. Can you decide and choose one of them? And just you decide and tell me. But what is the condition? What is my requirement? Yena Shreya Aham Apnoya. So that it will be my well-being. I attain my own well-being. Shreya means goodness, well-being. So tell me, you choose one of these two and tell me what is the best for me. The same question only the same request only he also made in the second chapter, beginning of the second chapter, when he said that you please yat shreyasya nishchitam bruhitan me shishyasteham shadimam. You decide and tell me what is best for me. And here he is saying, now don't give me these two choices and all. Don't tell me this is better, that is better and all. You tell me what is best for me. So what is the question? See, Arjuna's state of mind, we have to understand behind, at the back of his mind, this thing of not wanting to fight the war is there. It has not totally gone. That is why when he even surrenders, after that he says, I am ready to listen to you, but I am not yet ready to fight the war. So if you tell me you fight, that will not be sufficient, because I am not in a condition to fight. I may not be able to listen to you. So I may not be able to obey you, but I can listen to you. Whatever you are saying, I can learn something. I can try to understand something, but not yet ready to live it, implement it. Not yet. I don't find myself capable right now to live by whatever you say, but I can listen to it. And that's a good beginning for us also. As surrender, we may not be able to surrender to get transformed and live according to teachings of the scriptures. But first step is, are we open to listen without any prejudices in mind, without constantly, negating, refuting whatever is being said. How can this be? This is not logical. I don't think this is possible. I don't think this is right. Without doing that, can we with an open mind listen to the scriptures? That is the first step that Arjuna teaches us to do. And wherever there is a doubt, when you get a chance, when the teacher gives you a chance, ask. Because keeping a doubt in the mind is not going to resolve anything. We have to ask. And he says very clearly, see, this is the beauty of Arjuna. Arjuna means he's a very straightforward person. If he has a thought, he speaks it out and he does accordingly. There is no difference in this. Thought, speech and action are in one line. That is Arjuna. So he says, I don't see this point. You are saying, you are praising knowledge so much, and on the other hand, you are asking me to do such an unpleasant duty. How will I do this? I am getting confused. You are as though confusing me with this mixed approach. So you please decide for yourself, understand yourself. You choose whatever is best for me, and you tell me, do this, Arjuna. That's all. See, the point is, we may also, because we relate to Arjuna, we are able to understand what his state of mind is. Because he is our representative after all. We may also agree with Arjuna and say, why can't Krishna just say, get up, fight? Why can't he say? But the point is, in the beginning of the second chapter, he has already said that. But it did not work. He said, get up and fight. But it did not work. So Krishna understood that he has to understand and decide himself. And this is what Puja Guruji again and again keeps telling. Nobody listens to anyone else. We all listen to our own mind. So whatever my mind says, I will do. So if we appear to be listening to someone else, my mind has said you listen to them. You obey them, therefore I will do. But my mind says, no, enough. How much will you obey? Don't obey now anymore. Oh, it's gone. I listen to my mind only. All of us listen to our own minds. So Bhagavan Shri Krishna knows this very well. And he's saying that if I decide for him, although he's saying you decide. But if I decide for him, he is not going to be able to obey. Even if he obeys, he will never own up his life. He will never take up his own responsibility. Many people used to go to Gurudev for matchmaking. So, Gurudev, you travel all around the world. So I have a daughter. You know my daughter. So in your travels, can you find someone? Gurudev says, is this no? I am traveling for this or what? But there were people, all kinds of people, and they used to give all kinds of requests to Gurudev. So that in one place Gurudev has said that there are some youngsters also who would come and say, should I marry? He said, this is a very dangerous question and no intelligent person will give a yes or no answer. Because you can't make a decision for anyone else. It should be one's own decision. And in some place Gurudev has actually said this. He says, if, let us say, assume, I say yes. So he gets married because why does he get married? Gurudev has said, so I got married. Now, let us say I said no. Gurudev has said, so I did not get married. Now, in life, human life, some difficulties, sorrows will come. Whether you get married or not, sorrows and difficulties will come. But if it was Gurudev's decision, then when the sorrows come, because of Gurudev I am suffering today. He told me, therefore I got married. And because of that only I am suffering. I have blamed it. Now because of this blaming, Gurudev is not going to be affected by any way. But he does not take responsibility of his own life. So therefore that suffering continues longer. So that's why Gurudev said it should be our own decision. Any question. And in some places he has given direct instruction also. Do this. He said to the extent that all your business you give away to your brother. He has told to people. And people with full faith have done that also. And they are really prosperous today. And without any tensions of the family difficulties and everything. So he has given such instructions also. But only to chosen few. Majority of us, we don't belong to that category. We belong to this category. Where if somebody takes a decision for me, I will not take responsibility of my life. That is how I will be. I say, oh, because of that only now I am suffering. Because of that decision which I did not make, somebody else made, for that I am suffering. I start blaming. What is the point then? So we all want that. We demand also. You tell me what is good, I will do. Because we are sometimes physically we are not lazy, but intellectually we are very, very lazy. So if we say, think, that I can't. So tell me, तुलसी में पानी चढ़ाना चाहिए या पहले दिया जलाना चाहिए? पहले बता दो आप मुझे बस. उतना बता दो बहुत हो गया. शिवलिंग पे मूंग का दाल डालना चाहिए कि उड़द का दाल डालना चाहिए? वो बता दो. दाल डाल के हम इतना डाल देंगे कि सब गंदा कर देंगे. वो सब हम रेडी हैं. बट अब कौन सी दाल है वो चूज करके दे दो. And if we say you offer your feeling of devotion and surrender to Shiva, दिमाग लगाने को, काम करने को, क्या डालना? पानी डाल, दूध डाल, whatever you tell me, I will do that. And some people bring that pouch of dahi, they will bring, and they will come to the temple only and get something to cut it. And then suddenly their phone rings. They are standing in front of the Shiva. The phone rings. They take the phone. Acha. Now the open pouch of curds is there in their hand. And then what to do now? Bolo. Dahi doesn't come so easily. So if it was milk, it will come out. This is not coming out easily. Bolo. Ek minute. Okay, this is how we do Abhishek for Shiva. And say, you tell me, I will follow whatever you say. And he said, put your phone, switch your phone off when you come to the temple. That I can't do. Why? Are you a doctor? No. So then what is your job? I am unemployed. Then why do you want your phone on? Anyway, nobody is going to remember you. For 20 minutes in the temple, can we not turn off the phone? Or don't ask me to do all those things. You tell me, okay, aap chadao usko. We want some very, very gross, mundane kinds of things. And you tell me I will do, you tell me I will do, and I will do only those things which are like very, 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 where no thinking is involved. So that feeling should be there. With love you do. Bhagavad Gita also has said, whatever is offered with love, I accept. It need not be big things. It's just general small things, but you offer it with love. Love is most important. But that investment of love, we are not available. Same way thinking, we are not available for thinking. How to get out of this sorrowful situation, or how to get out of this challenging situation. So think about it. That I can't do. So thinking is very difficult. So here Arjuna is demanding. He's saying, you just decide and you tell me what I should do. That's all. That's enough. I don't want to think and all. You don't ask me to evaluate and all those things. On one side, yes, I am not capable of it right now, independently. Difficult for me to think. And second, I am lazy. I don't want to think. You just tell me, I will follow. But the beauty of our scriptures and of our gurus is that they will give us such direct instructions only when we are ready to do this. And whether we are ready or not, we don't know. They know. Otherwise, our scriptures are replete with so many such instructions. How many do we follow? We don't even understand that there is an instruction for it. So, we get instructions only when the Guru or even the scriptures are sure that we will be able to obey. Otherwise, there will be you decide, you think about it, you evaluate these two. I will tell you the pros and cons of both. And then you evaluate and you decide. So this is what we need to learn. That is why Puja Guruji always says that Bhagavad Gita and all the scriptures teach us how to think. The how part is most important. Because what to think, yes, it is giving us matter to think. But how to think? How to understand these are the various aspects, these are the various options at this time, and how do I evaluate the plus minus of all these things and finally arrive at a particular decision. And it has to be my decision, I own it up. It is not somebody has said, therefore I am doing it. If that kind of surrender and faith comes, that's a different thing. But majority of us, we want. So we are given only a lot of information about different things, and then we decide the course of action and we own it up. We take charge of our life. Because nobody else can live our life. Krishna cannot live Arjuna's life, even if he wishes to. No, he was Lord, he was Bhagwan. Bhagwan can do whatever he wants to do. Yes, Bhagwan can do whatever he wants to do, but did he? He did not change the situation. He did not make it easy for Arjuna. He gave all the information required. He made Arjuna understand, gave all the concepts of spiritual thinking, and then Arjuna himself thought over it and decided and presented his decision. This is what, in any conversation, even in our homes, in our families, we need to bring this Krishna-Arjuna Samvad in our daily life. This is how conversation happens. And there will always be demand that you tell me. You just tell. So sometimes you may have to say, but also that taking charge is important. Sometimes we say that we have to do this. Tomorrow we are going to do a puja. All of you should come. So you never asked us. We are all busy, we have our own plans. How can you plan something like that? Okay, then, okay, should we do a puja tomorrow? Yeah, it can be done, but then, will people come? And then if it is too cold, then what will we do? And if people don't come, then what will we do? And then, but we should do, I think, we do, that is good. But then, we can do it maybe over a weekend. Weekend will be better, I think. But then weekend, there are other programs. Let's do it tomorrow only, I think. But don't confuse me. Tell me one thing. That will never come. And whoever chooses owns it up. So it has to be my decision. It is very important. Otherwise we say, you tell, you do something. You tell me what I should do. That demand, see, and this is all, Puja Gurudev says, this conversation between Krishna and Arjuna is not outside. It ultimately has to happen within. And it happens. He says, Gurudev says, a faithful, pure mind is Arjuna. And intellect with the knowledge of the scriptures, subtle thinking intellect is Shri Krishna. And this conversation between Krishna and Arjuna has to happen within us. So the mind will demand, you tell me what I should do. But does the mind listen to the intellect? Rarely. So it is difficult. But if the mind chooses to do something, it will stand for it. It will take responsibility. It will say, this is mine and I shall make it happen. But if I don't own it up, if it is enforced, then that enforced decisions don't last long. That is why New Year resolutions, it lasts only for the first week of January. Why? Because New Year intellect says, this year has to be different. Mind, don't be lazy. Okay, yes, okay. Get up early in the morning. Yes, I will get up early. Okay. Then go to the gym. Yes, of course. Today only I will pay for the whole year. Gyms actually first week of January they run for a whole year. And they overbook themselves because they know 1 week only they have to manage. After that, they can have more batches also because after that nobody comes. So 1 week people. So, yes, I will do. So now what happens is, it is subtly enforcement. But when the mind sees joy in this, so I get so much of joy. And the mind says, I want to do this. And the intellect says, good. Go ahead. I will be with you. I will support you in your decision. And the mind says, okay, you are supporting me? Good. So now I will make it up. That's when things happen. This is what is the real secret. Why things are not happening here. This kind of demand, the mind demands. And in our relationships also we demand. Not understanding that we are not ready to obey. So you tell me what I should do. I am ready. Sometimes we take appointments. What time should I meet you? Okay, this time. This time I am busy. Okay, then this time you. That time. Okay. But okay, I will let you know. Okay, let you know. Then after that, we have to follow. What happened? What happened? Oh yeah, I had told you. Oh, sorry. Okay, now next week we will. Okay, next week. Okay. So now it is like an enforcement. So it is subtle thing. But if I only say, I want to come at this time, this day, can I come? Okay, come. Okay. Then I will own it up. It is a very subtle kind of thing. So to own up. Kim Karmani Kesava, why are you putting me through this very, very painful and terrible action? So it seems from Arjuna's question that he has understood that these two are two different paths. The point is, this kind of confusion, we'll come to one who understands that these two are totally opposed, different paths. And either Karma Yoga or Jnana Yoga. So this is the confusion. Now, you see Bhagavan how he answers, how he responds to this question. Very, very beautiful response to make it crystal clear. And what really is the flaw in the question, and also how we can choose this Karma Yoga, how to understand this beautiful way of action, and how can our actions become a stepping stone for our spiritual path. So we'll see that tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah.